Welcome to my fifth research log called the Multimodal Research Presentation. I have decided to research a 2019 Chinese science fiction film called The Wandering Earth, directed by Frank Guo. I wanted to research how this film can relate to the real world, whether it is from scientific backgrounds such as global warming and the destruction of the world, to humanistic backgrounds such as the rekindled relationship between a father and son, with Chinese cultures from filial piety. By combining these topics, I came up with the theme of how world destruction gives a chance for world building through setting differences aside from the father and son in the film, which mirrors the real world with how the world can become a better planet if everybody worked together due to the rise of global warming and technology. To understand this project, the reader will need to read the introduction paragraph and the synopsis of the essay, because the introduction paragraph is able to give a gist of the essay, while the synopsis of the movie is able to explain the relationship between Pei Chang, who is the father, and Liu Qi, who is the son, while having Liu Qi's character take on a leadership role to save the world. When planning out what to do with my research paper, I made a mind map to structure my essays, as I divided my essay into three parts: humanistic, scientific, and behind the scenes, which features the world building process between the author of the original novella and Frank Guo. To decide my secondary sources, I searched keywords in the search bar from JSTOR, which is a website for scholarly articles, and I searched up The Wandering Earth film and Chinese fiction films, and after deciding what sources I was going to use from JSTOR, I used my annotated bibliography draft to see what examples fit best with the themes I was able to write paragraphs that fit into the structure. By comparing and contrasting the themes, I also used quotes from the secondary sources and examples in the film, such as mise-en-scenes, to help readers understand the claims and arguments I have written. One example of a mise-en-scene was the opening scene, where the narrator talks about the origin of the Wandering Earth project while having diegetic sounds such as news reporters talking on television and families suffering due to natural disasters, to non-diegetic features such as camera pannings to the Earth far away while being moved by millions of rocket fuel. Scholarly debates may talk about the questions about how the relationship between the father and son can relate to the end of the world, how science fiction genres impacts the real world from the audience's perspective, and how science fiction can mirror reality. By relating the science fiction genre within the world building in real life, I was able to implement the psychological impacts that the end of the world had caused. How the end of the world can lead to a beginning of a new era due to evolution and adaptation from humanity. How there are geopolitical messages that China is saying and spreading, and how Chinese culture can be implemented into a science fiction film, such as being respectful towards the older generation. While working on my drafts, my peer reviewer was able to provide great feedback, and I am now in the process of writing the final draft of my essay. As world destruction is a common theme in science fiction genres, The Wandering Earth can have world building themes as well, by telling a story of a broken relationship between a father and son, by having them renew their relationship by setting their differences aside to save the planet. While this relates to the real world, as the rise of technology and global warming being a major issue, humanity would need to put their differences aside and work together for a better world. This is my multimodal research presentation, and I hope you enjoy my essay, and I'll see you in the reflection.